Andreas from Sleep Better Mattress Gallery, and I had a customer come in yesterday and asking me, aren't mattresses basically the same? They're all coils and foam, and aren't most companies using coils from Liggett & Platt? And that's actually a really good question, because I know that Liggett & Platt, well, at least a few years ago, they were advertising somewhere or putting on their website all the companies that they sold coils to. Well, yeah, that is somewhat true. However, Liggett & Platt will sell coils that are different grades. So you can get steel from them that is single tempered, double tempered, not tempered at all, or you can request grades of steel from them. This is foam, and yeah, there's, I don't know, a dozen or so manufacturers that make foam. And you can buy foam that doesn't have as much air whipped into it. So it'll look fluffy when you go look at the mattress, but because there's less air into it, because they want to save money on manufacturing, what they'll do is they'll whip a crap load of air into it. So it'll look fluffy at the beginning, but just won't last as long. So one thing I've always told customers is put your hand on the mattress and push. If you can feel the coil, so will your back, even the day one. Now, who wants to spend a couple $100 on a mattress and not be comfortable the first night? So, yes, there are several hundred manufacturers of mattresses just in the United States, and 95% of them are all off-brands. And off-brands are companies that aren't on the stock exchange. They're so tiny they only have a couple dozen stores. And they will use some of the cheapest parts, and they're basically one-hit wonders. You'll buy a mattress and you'll never buy again. I've always told people, don't ever believe anything you hear and half of what you see, especially from somebody that makes commission. Always Google. Find out the manufacturer and the name of the product, and then Google it. And there'll be if it's a national brand product, there'll be dozens of stores that actually advertise that product somewhere online, and you'll see at least a dozen different pricing for the same product. And hopefully most of them will be honest about the correct price. So yeah, you're going to find a hard, medium, and soft and a hard, medium, and soft, hard, medium, and soft in different levels of mattresses. But that doesn't mean it's the same at other stores. My owner owns this building. We don't pay rent, we collect rent. So we don't have to jack up our prices to cover all this extra overhead. And I sell an international brand product, not an off-brand. So you can rely on the quality of the parts, because Sealy doesn't use that cheap foam made from overseas, made by 12-year-olds, that's basically all fluff instead of girthy material. Now, granted, that cheap cheap foam from wherever, yeah, it's nice and fluffy for a second, but then after 6 months it goes flat, from my experience. Go into these big mart stores that have that sell that foam topper, and just pick it up. If it's light as a feather, well, how much of it is air and how much of it is actual material? Well, how long do you think it's going to last? Not all mattresses are made the same. And even though Liggett & Platt does supply coils to a lot of the companies, that doesn't mean that each company is buying the same quality of part. And when you buy in bulk, you get a better deal. So if you buy a whole truckload every week, well, they're going to give you a little bit of better deal, and your shipping costs are going to be cheaper. So you can actually produce that product at a better price than these off-brands. So not all mattresses are made the same, and even though they may have the same, they purchase parts from the same supplier, that doesn't mean that they're getting the same part. So I hope this really does help. And yeah, it sucks that you can't really see inside a mattress, but if you Google the product and then you look at all the different places that are supplying it online, you'll get a good idea of at least the pricing. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, give me a call or email me. Thank you.